Hello, my name is Hal, and this is a deeper look into the theme of Lord of the Flies. Good versus evil. Civilization versus savagery. Our world has been fighting this battle for thousands of years. It began approximately 190,000 years ago when fossil evidence suggests that the first Homo sapiens began to appear. It then advanced even further approximately 50,000 years ago when humans began to live and work together. The final brick was laid approximately 25,000 years ago when humans began forming large militaristic civilizations and distancing themselves from other human civilizations. 107,602,707,791 people have walked on this planet. Of that 107 billion, approximately 3,055,916,901 humans have been killed by other humans. We live in an ongoing battle between good and evil, and every day we walk the line between savagery and civilization. We are always just one incident away from being thrown into the bleakness of the night. Modern societies have given us the freedom of speech, press, religion, and the right to protest. But what happens when that power is abused?
It was on Monday the 8th of August 2011 that Britain's superstructure collapsed. By midnight, it was clear that the police and the government had lost control. For one night at least, delinquent anarchy had proved more powerful than fellowship and bureaucracy.
When the power of government is gone, the only thing separating you from savagery is the power of your mind. And your mind is easily broken.
Boys and deserted tropical islands. Unfortunately, the only description that really does this book justice is allegory. In plain English, that means this whole book is freaking symbolic! Symbolic of what? Take your pick. Order versus chaos, civilization versus savagery, reason versus emotion. But you won't go wrong if you remember that while this book may seem like an adventure story on the surface, it's really about the loss of innocence. I'm not just talking about kids having to grow up too fast. I'm talking about that moment when the evil that human beings are capable of becomes apparent. This book is so dark. Actually, maybe Lord of the Flies is an adventure story, but it's an adventure into the human psyche, and what you'll find won't be pretty.
Lord of the Flies is about savagery. A group of schoolboys ends up on a desert island without adults after their plane crashes. They try to govern themselves and to maintain order and civility, but they ultimately fail, descending into violence and brutality. At the beginning of the book, Ralph and Piggy meet on a desert island in the Pacific. They were on a plane with a group of boys who were being evacuated from England because of a war, but the plane was attacked and crashed on the island. While they were in the air, they heard that an atomic bomb exploded in England, so we know that a nuclear war is taking place. Ralph calls another assembly with the conch. He tells everyone that they're on an island, and they're alone. No one knows where they are, but it's a good island, with food and water, and pigs that they can hunt. He makes a rule that when they have meetings, the person holding the conch gets to speak, and the conch becomes an important symbol in the book, representing civilization and order. Unfortunately, the positive picture Ralph tries to paint gets somewhat spoiled when one of the youngest boys is given the conch. He asks what Ralph is going to do about the snake thing, or beastie, that the boy thinks is on the island. Ralph says there is no beastie, but Jack says they'll hunt for it when they go hunting. This moment is really the root of all the problems in the book, because this fear of a beast doesn't go away. The boys can either deal with it Ralph's way, which is to conquer the fear through reason, saying there isn't a beast, or Jack's way, which is to say we're part of a tribe, we're hunters. Together we're strong enough to hunt and kill the beast. Ultimately, Jack sets the whole island on fire, and Ralph runs out to the beach, where a British naval officer has just arrived, investigating all the smoke. Ralph tries to explain to the officer what happened and starts weeping. The other boys weep too.
One of the most important elements in Lord of the Flies is how quickly social structure fell when government was destroyed. So we asked a couple high school seniors their input on it, and this is what they said.
I think normal people would fall apart without government within a couple days. There would be anarchy because it's human nature to want to do whatever you want and without any sort of control. Society would be driven into chaos.
All right, Lord of the Flies is basically just about how they crash on the island, and then while there they form their form of government to help keep peace on the island. But then one group splits off and forms after they get power hungry, and then slowly but surely, one by one, they followed the other corrupt ruler.
It wouldn't take too long for society to start breaking down, because with the lack of support that the government gives us as it is, the direction and the guidance that they bring, everyone starts to fend for themselves, and people are going to start making mistakes just out of fear or no compassion. There would already be riots around the nation, just trying to form some type of leadership, because as a nation we need some type of leader, a unified person or a group of unified people. The darkness of humanity would shine brighter when the social structure is gone.
I fell down.